Hélie de Montbel, codename Nox, is the newest operator in Delta Force, releasing just a few days ago with Season 4. He's the third operator in the Assault class, and in today's video I'll be going over his unlock criteria, weapon selection, abilities, and playstyle. In order to unlock Nox, similarly to Seneva, you simply need to reach level 15 in the Battle Pass. Now don't worry, as he is a free unlock, so you don't actually need to purchase the Battle Pass. Nox, being part of the Assault class, has access to 13 rifles, 4 shotguns, and 1 marksman rifle. It is to note that at the time of making this video, the K437 and 725 double barrel are currently not unlockable, but I still added them to the total weapon counts for each distinct category. Now let's get into Nox's abilities. His passive is called Deep Trauma. Whenever an enemy is damaged by Nox, it delays health regeneration in warfare, and in operations, use time on healing items is increased, as is the revive time, making him ideal to push enemies that are running into cover. Onto his active abilities. His throwable is a tactical flashbang. Much like the throwables for other classes, this one does not automatically regen, unlike Hackclaw's flash drone. You need to resupply it via ammo boxes and resupply stations. The flashbang detonates shortly after impacting with any surface, which is fantastic as you can often catch players off guard with it. It blinds and stuns any enemies in the vicinity, with the blinding aspect seemingly only affecting people looking at it when it detonates, at least from what I've experienced. Be careful, as you can also stun and blind yourself with these. Overall, a much better version than what Hackclaw has. As a side note, with this season they added Flash Eye Protection mode, which basically turns any flash from white to dark, and you can find this option under Combat Perspective in the graphics settings. His next ability is Whirlwind Discs, another throwable, but this one has a cooldown of 40 seconds after throwing it, so no need to resupply. The disc itself can be thrown and will explode shortly after impacting with a surface. You can also use its lock-on ability to track enemies. The lock-on takes around 0.65 seconds, and the disc explodes in proximity to the tracked target. When tracking an enemy from behind, the lock-on speed is substantially increased so that it's basically instant. Upon exploding, it releases shrapnel that slows down enemies, inflicts direct damage as well as damage over time. I myself don't use the lock-on function of this ability much in Warfare, as there are so many things happening at any given time that it doesn't really make sense to wait for it to lock. I can see the lock-on making a lot more sense in operations. These discs can be used in a multitude of ways. I love using it upon an unsuspecting victim when I hear them running up to me. I bounce one of these around the corner to catch them off guard, and it usually throws them off just enough to get the drop on them, and it also damages them, which is a bonus. You can also use this to prevent enemies from escaping you after doing a little bit of damage to them, but my favorite is to finish off someone that I have just damaged when they move into cover. Banking one of these off a wall to then immediately kill the person you were just firing at is just plain fun. It's also possible to kill an enemy from the bleed damage that these cause, netting you kills even after you yourself got killed. His last ability is called Silent Assault. Once triggered, this ability lasts 25 seconds, making you completely untraceable in Warfare and dramatically reducing the footstep audio you produce when running, which also has increased speed. In Operation, it's slightly different. You still retain the increased running speed and reduced footstep audio, but if an enemy uses a tracking ability, it will ping your initial location as opposed to being completely untraceable like in Warfare. When Silent Assault is active, any kill you get reduces the cooldown of Whirlwind Discs by 10 seconds. This ability is overall just insane when used in flanks, as players simply don't hear you running up to them, allowing you to easily eliminate like a whole squad. Unlike D-Wolf's ultimate, getting kills doesn't increase the ability's duration. As for gadgets, Nox has access to the same variety as the rest of the Assault operators, including the new flamethrower that was just added. I found Nox to be much more fun to play on infantry-focused maps, and not so much in maps where there are a lot of vehicles, as he doesn't sport anything that can deal with them, except of course if you pick an explosive gadget. I also strongly recommend using a suppressed weapon, as getting those flanks off with his Silent Assault ability would be pretty pointless if you go in guns blazing, alerting everyone of your presence. His entire kit synergizes very well together, and you can get some pretty cool ability combos by slowing players down, flashing them, rendering enemies completely useless for the most part. His flashbang is also awesome at removing players from spots only accessible with a ladder, especially when combining it with other teammates. I'm sure you can probably think of 1 or 2 spots that fits this category. I definitely think Nox was tailored for operations more so than Warfare. He is still a ton of fun to play, but I can see him being fantastic, especially for solo players in operations. Overall, I have been having a blast playing as Nox in Shafted and Knife Edge. He is just so much fun to use, and his kit really favors you playing tactically and planning out when you're going to use the flashbang and when you're going to use the whirlwind discs, and he's just a lot of fun to play. If you know of any other tips that I might have missed, leave them in the comment section down below. In any case, let me know what you think of Nox if you've had the chance to play him yet, or on the other end, if you've had the chance to come up against a Nox, let me know how you felt on the receiving end. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thank you very much for watching, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.